Okay. Well, we're trying this again. Um, let's see. Now I've got to take care of business because this is, I don't know what the hell happened, but that is bullshit. I call bullshit. Um, then I've got people messaging me going, what happened? Um, okay. Um, anyway, supposedly this was, it caught all of it. I did double check to be sure that it actually caught every bit of it, and it did, so it said there's 28 minutes of it. Anyhow, um, so apparently somebody didn't like what was being said, and they cut me off. Um, Interesting. Find that really frickin' interesting. You're not gonna stop me from talking. I'm gonna tell you right the frick now. You're not gonna stop me from talking. Um, Not happening. You done did piss me the F off. Anyway, so we were talking about, different soul, uh-oh. Okay, now I've got something else going on here. Alright, anyway, uh, okay, now I think get this damn stupid freaking business aspect of this part of it. Just drives me nuts. Um, which is exactly the point of them doing this bullshit. Oops. Anyway, so you've got, I talked earlier about, Joe S. and his "Hey, first half never played. Interesting." So says Joe Monk. Um, okay, well, that's totally fucking sucks, especially on a day like today. Um, because 'cause I'm not gonna be able to go 2 hours. I think what I'm gonna do is, because 'cause I've got an appointment that I absolutely have to be at, and I think what I'll do is end up, doing Hey, Amy, um, kind of going back over to see, um, what took place, go to my appointment, talk here, go to my appointment, come back, and have this, "Hey, Christopher, thanks for coming back in." Um, yeah, I know, Joe. Um, some people would find that comical, other people would find that sad, others are like, "Eh, I don't know exactly where I stand on that." I think he was like 79 or 80, something like that. Anyway, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'll come back in and around 7 or 7:30, I will, go back on. Yeah, I'll go back on, um, and talk more. I'm not making that as a promise, though. But if there are things that do need to be talked about, just keep your eye open for this. Um, yeah, thank you. Both Joe, Christopher, and Amy. Um, yeah, pancreatic cancer. I'd forgotten about that. Anyway, so I was talking about soul lifetimes, lifetimes of the soul, past lifetimes of the soul, and ancient family. So ancient family. Hello to all 4 who are watching right now, or technically there was 5 earlier. Um, we're talking about different aspects of, uh, having different family members, biological family members who are, um, your soul family. You can have, just kind of recap here. You can have, friends or lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, be a soul family member, um, and, sometimes that soul family member doesn't always stay, um, because they're a lesson this time around for you or me, preaching to the choir here, and so I've experienced firsthand. Uh, good God, why am I being shown that? Alright, apparently, I'm supposed to talk about times I just wanna flip you off. Um, mm, God, totally knocked me off of what I was that's the point. Bite me. Sorry, little pet peeve with me and one of the spirit guides. Apparently, this is going to affect somebody, so I need to talk about it. Um, ugh, sorry, this just kinda it just irritates me. But if it's gonna help somebody, then I'm all for that. Okay, so I was being shown rebirthing. Someone in counseling doing a rebirthing method of counseling and technique with a kind of like I don't know what else to call it. It's like a blanket or great big blanket in a ball and you're being rebirthed. I don't know why that is popping up. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's for somebody specific and whatever that means to them. Okay, are we done with that now? Yes, I can go on. Thank you. Um, sorry to whoever it pertains to. Um, I'm not and then goes the squeak of the chair. I'm not feeling the greatest as I mentioned earlier. Um, and I've got a really bad headache that kicked in just a few minutes after I was coming on, so the first time around. Anyway, so your soul family can end up, um, being with you for multiple lifetimes. Your ancient soul family can do that as well. Uh, all the way I mean, all the way beyond Earth, um, before Earth was Earth. You can have, uh choose soul families while you're on the other side, and it's an agreement, it's like a soul contract. It's another one of those lovely soul contracts. Um, and it's something that we all have with different people. Um, they affect us in different ways, in different aspects, obviously, especially if you're a lover or married or in a relationship and wow, can really affect the dynamics of biological family. Wow, can they ever? So, I mean, there's many aspects to this. Um, I talked about earlier on, I had talked about, answering a question from a gentleman who is a viewer, whose name is Joe S. I'm just putting the last initial. Um He had asked what is the difference, um oh, good grief. Um, what's the difference between a male alien semen and a normal man human's semen? I answered that in that oops, hit the wrong button again. There we go. I answered that in that I don't have the exact answer, but I do know that what I've seen the ET do is they do what I call a genetic splice and dice. They make the human female egg, or the human egg, um, I was just gonna use the word susceptible, that is not the word I intended to use. Uh, they make it to where they genetically alter the the egg from the human female, and they genetically alter the semen from the, um, male ET, and that's I mean, I call it splicing and dicing, I don't know what else to and that is one of the ways that, um, some women, some ET abductees are impregnated. Others are, um, in a breeding program, hybrid breeding program. So there's that aspect of it. But regarding soul families, um, there are many. I mean, you can they can protect you. Your ancient family can, if they're on the other side, while you're physically in this body, they can come to your aid if necessary. Once you are aware of them and start talking with them, or you got to be very careful when you talk to them. Um, and how to do it, how to go about it. Make your it's all about intention. All of this is about intention, whether it's you're dealing with ETs, whether you're dealing with other souls, whether it's soul contracts, everything is based on intention. And keeping that um, aware, making it aware to you, and how you choose, because everything that goes on in your life is from a choice that you have made. Hello to whoever came in and went back out and came back in. Um, I appreciate you coming in and listening and all of that. Anyway, um, so there's so many aspects, and it's so much greater than what we could ever truly conceive of, and believe me, I can conceive of a lot, but this really blew my mind, when it came to, um, the dynamics. I mean, every detail, every aspect. There are a grand scheme of things that are not planned because things have to take, somebody's dog is out. Um, they things have to take a progression, um, but you will have timelines, you'll have, in the soul contract, you'll have this person come into your life, that person will come into your life, and you also got soul family who is part of your biological family. So there's that aspect of it. So you've got numerous different contracts going out and agreements going out with these different, yeah, Dynamix, uh, dynamics, yeah. Um, with these different aspects of, um, soul families and ancient soul families and different people that come into your life. And then you've got the aspect where, you don't have a soul contract with somebody who comes in and goes, but they're kind of like, okay, here's an example. Say, for example, I'm walking through a grocery store. That's the first thing I thought of, Fred Meyer, walking through a Fred Meyer, and that's part grocery store and part clothing and everything else mixed in together. You're walking through that store and you see somebody in a nice outfit, or, um, they look good and you say, "Oh, great outfit today," or "Love your hair," because 'cause they've got, their hair is dyed a specific color, say it's blue or purple or bright pink or, or they've got phenomenal tattoos or, great jacket, or you notice their shoes because they're unusual, you notice something about them and you say something about them, and you say it in a positive, constructive manner, and their response is, "Oh, thank you." Well, you don't know what's going on in that person's life, but they're bypassing. You don't have necessarily a soul contract with them, but they're part of your passing. They're part of the come and go aspect. Um, and then you may have somebody that you might meet in a bar or a pool hall or tavern, whatever, and something that you get to talking about, whether it's, I don't know, dating, paranormal, or whatever. I haven't done that in so many years, I don't even remember what the hell it's like, but anyway, oh, I have done that in a pool hall, um, 'cause I used to play pool. Anyway, so it's just you make conversation with somebody and they end up becoming, a friend. Well, that's an unexpected to you, an unexpected meeting, but yet you've got a soul contract with that person. So, excuse me, and there may be a lifetime where it's not a soul contract, but the person is a lesson in your life, and, um, it may not have supposed to have happened then, it was supposed to happen further in the future, but it happened then, So there are things like that that can take place. Yes, Joe, you can't say that stuff these days. Yeah, no kidding. Amy, some we wish would just go a little more quickly on the pass and go. Yeah, I've had folks like that in my life where it's just like, "Oh my god." But a lot of things are about the choices we make, um, and I mean, even being in a specific lane, I'm thinking of a car accident at the second, in a specific lane at a specific given moment in time, it was a choice to be on that lane, but because of somebody else, um, there's an accident. So there's all sorts of dynamics. Um, yeah, as in the cashier in the register number 19 at a store, that was always mean. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of aspects and dynamics to this that play out on a daily frickin' basis in everybody's life. So, um, but your soul family obviously is the ones who stick around and who stay around. Well, that's not always the case. I kinda contradict myself a little bit on this one. But at the same time, I've had soul family that have stuck around permanently. I've had soul family that are like, "I love you, but I need to go. I need to go do my own thing." And I'm like, "Okay." And they're gone. And, it happens on both levels, both aspects. And with the, gentleman who is an extremely dear friend of mine who is on the other side now, who he and I, we were just trying to figure out how the holy hell were we why were we so close? I mean, there was nothing untoward between us, it was just we were really, really close, and when I had that psychic hit about family dynamics from a number of different lifetimes, clicked. I mean, it just wanted us, and sometime after that, he started having flashbacks of lifetimes that we had had together, and I knew that they were accurate. Um, so, yeah, Joe says, "Some dogs like a pat on the head, some dogs will bite you, some people are the same way." Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. That is really hurting. Really don't wanna have to take another Tylenol, but I'm gonna have to. So, I mean, yeah, it makes a big difference, if you've got a situation going on in your life and you call on your soul family, um, that is on the other side, that is staying on the other side for whatever reason.